Lena, a paranormal investigator, buys a mysterious doll from a hidden antique shop. The shop owner refuses to touch it and warns her, some things should never be owned. That night, the whispers begin. Lena places the doll on a shelf, but each time she looks at it, its eyes seem to shift, as if it's watching her. She tells herself it's just her imagination. Brushing her hair, she glances in the mirror. For a split second, the doll is standing behind her. She spins around. It's still on the shelf. She wakes up to the sound of a door creaking. Her bedroom door, which she locked, is wide open. On the floor, tiny footprints lead from her bed to the doll. She records audio overnight. The next morning, she plays it back. Among the static, a child's voice whispers, "You found me." The lights flicker every time she walks past the doll. She replaces the bulbs, but it keeps happening. Then, one night, the lights go out completely, and something moves in the dark. Her phone rings. It's her own number calling. She picks up. A voice whispers, "Don't let me go." The walls of her apartment start showing scratches, long, deep marks. Then one night she sees it. The doll's tiny hands are covered in dust and paint. She decides to lock the doll in a glass case. The next morning, the case is shattered, and the doll is sitting on her bed. Her best friend, Jake, stays over. At 3 a.m., he wakes up screaming. The doll, it was crawling toward me. Desperate for answers, Lena digs through old records. She finds a newspaper clipping from 1956, tragic death of a little girl, doll found clutched in her arms. Under the photo, the name reads, Annabelle. Every night she dreams of a dark room. Girl in a white dress stands in the corner crying, but when Lena gets closer, the girl has no face. One morning, Lena finds a tiny handprint on her bathroom mirror. It's made of something dark, something that smells like iron. She tries to get rid of the doll. She drives miles away and leaves it in an abandoned field. But when she gets home, the doll is sitting on her couch with a note in its lap, "You shouldn't have done that." Desperate, she calls a paranormal expert. He takes one look at the doll and says, "It doesn't want to be owned, it wants a host." Lena sets up cameras in her apartment. At 3:17 a.m., the doll tilts its head. At 3:30 a.m., it turns toward the camera. At 3:33 a.m., it crawls off the shelf. One night, Lena wakes up unable to move. The doll is on her chest, staring at her. She hears a child's voice inside her head. "Let me in." With help from an exorcist, she performs a cleansing ritual. The house shakes. The doll's eyes turn black. A scream fills the air, then silence. It's finally over, or so she thinks. Weeks later, Lena moves to a new apartment. One night, she gets a package in the mail. No return address. Inside is the doll, with a new note. "Miss me?" A year later, Lena is found missing. All that's left behind is a single Polaroid, a photo of the doll sitting on her bed, and in the reflection of the mirror behind it, a girl in a white dress, smiling.